In that furnace of affliction, see the crook conviction when you mouths are feeding the pork and I'm conditioned. Gotta make something shake them say can end you up in prison when you got more money than month with no obvious prediction. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, whoa. Talking pressure, why pressure, whoa. Talking pressure, why pressure, whoa. Talking pressure, pressure, whoa. Talking pressure. Taking L's from the get-go. Niggas working 4 jobs with no income. Taking loss after loss in your bank account. Taking no nigga Tahoe with a nagging chick at the crib in your pride. You constantly having to swallow with your whip on E with no money. Only family gon' eat tomorrow. Nigga, that's pressure. The blind lady just gon' eat and have the bounce on his kills to measure. When you got a partner on the block with the works and he got the key to remove that stressor. And you crying out to the Lord. You need to please it. Change the weather. Feel like jumping here when Satan got sat down and made up with you. Welcome to hell, you welcome to sell. But niggas, they sell they soul. Niggas out here on bail, but niggas, they think it's true. They can't really tell if they going up or down, left and right up in here. But me, I'm tight open on this last and righteously. A nigga clocking down, fall baiting, debauchery. Free give back, moving jump so froggy, crouching tiger, hidden dragon. You were thinking they savvy. In that furnace of affliction, see the crook conviction when you got mouths of feed in the pork and I'm conditioned. Gotta make something shake them say can end you up in prison when you got more money than month with no obvious prediction. Talking pressure, why pressure, whoa. Talking pressure, why pressure, whoa. Talking pressure, why pressure, whoa. Talking pressure, pressure, whoa. Talking pressure.
Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. We're gonna always let you know who the problem in the earth is, and that's the white man, which is the devil the Bible speaks of. Today we want to talk about following orders. I've been hearing a lot of people say I don't follow no man. I don't follow no man because following man, I follow God. Well, what you need to understand is all through this Bible, the Lord never talked to everybody in the nation.
Right.
Your personal relationship that you say you got with the Lord is a myth. Right. That ain't biblical. The Lord speaks to a man that speaks to the nation. Right. And if you don't follow orders, it could be a life or death situation. Right. You not following orders could either kill you or make you live.
That's right.
We're gonna go into a couple of these stories in the Bible to help you understand how important following orders is. First, let's go to Numbers 20. Numbers 20 and 8. Let's go to Moses. Let's find out why Moses didn't get to make it into the kingdom, into the promised land. You understand? A lot of people don't know why Moses didn't go into the promised land. So we're going to show it to you according to what the Bible says, give you some understanding. Numbers chapter 20, starting at verse 8.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 20, verse 8. Take a rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron, thy brother, and speak ye unto the, and speak ye unto the rock.
Do what to the rock?
Speak ye unto the rock.
Speak unto the rock.
Before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water. And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock.
Do what? Do what to the rock?
Speak ye unto the rock before their eyes.
All right. That's the part right there. The Lord gave an order right here. Speak to the rock before the nation. Right? Keep reading.
And it shall give forth his water.
Keep reading.
And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock.
Keep reading.
So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts to drink. Verse 9. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock?
Must who do it?
Must we fetch you water out of this rock?
You know what happened? Moses started getting big-headed.
Right.
Moses acting like he got the power.
Right.
The power of the Lord was the power of Moses. He must me and my brother, we gotta save y'all again?
Right.
Man, come on, man. You rebels, you hard-headed Negroes. Keep reading.
And Moses lifted up his hand, and with the rod he smote the rock twice.
And he did what?
He smote the rock twice.
No, he spoke to the rock.
He smote the rock twice.
What did the Lord tell Moses to do? Raise your hand.
He told him to speak unto the rock.
Moses was told to speak unto the rock. But what did Moses do?
And
read.
And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice.
He smote the rock. He chose to do what he wanted to do instead of following the orders the Lord gave him. The Lord gave him specific instructions to speak to the rock. Now, what would be more amazing to see? Somebody telling the rock to give forth water, or somebody hitting the rock twice and the water coming out of it? Which one? Just saying it. Just speaking it. Keep reading.
And the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and the beast also.
Keep reading.
Verse 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believe me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them.
Wait, did they eat pork? Were they homosexuals? What did Moses do to not make it into the promised land?
He didn't give the Lord his glory. He took it upon himself.
By doing what? By not following orders. Right. That's it. People always say, oh, I don't follow no man. The only way you hear about Christ is through a man. Right. The only way you learn about the Bible is this book is a book full of what men said. Right. So if you read the Bible, then you are following a man. Because a man wrote the Bible. Men wrote the Bible. You understand? So that's ignorant for you to say, oh, I follow no man but the Lord. Because the Lord ain't talking to you specifically. He speaks to the man in charge, and the man in charge tells the nation. Right. That's how it's always been. And everybody knows that the Lord never changed. Right. I am the Lord. I change not. So when did he start talking to everybody personally? You understand? He never did that. Following an order can either make you or break you. It can either help you or destroy you. Give me Lot. Give me Lot's wife. Who got that? Read what you tell me where you at.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 17. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad that he said, escape for thy life.
So the angels was in the land, right? Angels was in the land. Angels had heard enough. The homosexuality was too much. They was in the house hiding, you know what I'm saying? Lot was like, look, let me go out there and handle it. Right. Lot walked outside and said, look, I got 2 daughters in the house that never knew men. Right. Take them. They was like, nah, bring them men out here. We want them menses. You know, that's what they was out there saying. The angels was like, well, that's it. Pull Lot back into the house and read it again.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 17. And it came to pass.
Yeah, that's what they were about to say. The lady was like, well, okay. Pull Lot back into the house. Go ahead. And read it again.
When they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life.
Mm-hmm.
Look not behind thee,
Mm-hmm.
neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
He said to do what?
Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
He told them to look not behind you. That was the order. He said, when you leave, run and don't look back. Simple order. Very simple. It's not hard. When you get out the door, just run.
Right.
Don't look back. You own your way to freedom.
Right.
You are the only people that's being saved out of this whole town. All you got to do is just run and not look back. Very easy. Read verse 25.
Verse 25. And he overthrew those cities,
Mm-hmm.
and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, that which grew upon the ground. But his wife.
But who?
But his wife.
But who?
But his wife
Mm-hmm.
looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
All she had to do was just look straight ahead while she was running. Like in track, they tell you not to look back when you run. When you're in track, they say don't run and look back. It slows you down.
Right.
Well, she ran and looked back and got turned into a pillar of salt because she couldn't follow a simple order. That was a life or death decision that she thought really wasn't that important. It really wasn't that big of a deal. You hear orders and you try to twist them to fit you because in your mind it's really not that big of a deal. It's just looking back. But if the Lord is telling you, if somebody is telling you not to do it, you need to not do it. You understand? And that's why our people are so destroyed, because we want to do what we want to do. We got our mind made up that however we want to live, that's how we gonna live. And can't nobody tell me that I can't live this way. Can't nobody tell me what to do. You understand? So that's why your CO gotta tell you what to do. That's why your PO gotta tell you what to do. That's why the police gotta tell you what to do. Because you don't listen to nobody else. Because you don't know how to follow orders. This Bible is full of orders.
Right.
The laws, statutes, and commandments are orders.
Right.
Why are we in slavery right now? Why are we in the predicament we're in right now? Because we broke the commandments. We are some order-breaking people.
Right.
We break all the orders we get. The Lord gave us laws and told us, if you're obedient, I'll put you above and never beneath. You'll be the head and never the tail. You'll be the lender and not the borrower. That sounds pretty good to me. But if you don't, I'll make you the tail and not the head. I'll make you the bottom and not the top. Got a question?
Yes. When do these curses come to an end?
That's what we're finna get to. The way you get out of the curse. What put us in this predicament?
What put us in this predicament?
Mm-hmm.
It's without question that we turned our backs on the Most High.
So it's disobedience put us in this predicament, right?
Absolutely.
So what, just thinking very simple, nothing major, using practical knowledge, what could put us back in good standings?
Right. You're right. Simple. Obeying the Most High.
Is that give him a hand? I mean, it's really not that hard. It's just obedience.
But that brings me to my next question.
Go ahead.
What purpose will Christ serve?
If what?
If it's on us to obey God, it's on you and it's on me to obey God.
Mm-hmm.
What purpose is there for Christ?
Let me ask you this. When you sin in the Bible, what happened to you? Say for instance, you ate some pork. What was the punishment for eating pork?
What would be the punishment for eating pork?
Mm-hmm.
My fellowship would be
No, they wouldn't be disrupted. Your fellowship wouldn't be the only thing disrupted. What would happen to you?
Back in the day, they used to kill you for eating pork.
You would get stoned.
Now, in order for you to kill me for eating pork, what would be the prerequisites for that?
You eat pork, it's against the law.
But wouldn't you have to have priests, temples, elders, a court case, the whole nine? And all
Nah,
that?
That's exactly what we're saying.
So my question, and again, I'm not trying to disturb.
Man,
I'm a real genuine question.
Yeah. I'm finna ask you a question.
Okay. So
If the
I don't
law,
look like a troll or nothing. I just really got some serious questions, my boy. I don't know where he at.
He's coming. He's coming.
who is this boy?
Okay, cool. That's all I want.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm finna ask you a question. Let me explain it to you. This is what it is. Christ died so that you could live. Because if he wasn't your sacrifice, you would be the sacrifice. You sin, you would die. You eat pork, you get stoned for you eating pork. That was what it was. So he became sin for you, so that you would have an opportunity to change. Because without that, you would have died for your sins. But he died for your sins, so that you could live and have a chance to repent, have a chance to change your life.
But isn't that a verse that states that another man cannot die for another man's sin?
If that's the case, then why are we in bondage right now?
When you look at
That's why you got to come to class. You come to class, we'll teach you all that. Come to the law class. They break all that down in the law class. They come to the Tuesday class. They got all the brotherhood breakdowns.
What time do y'all meet on Tuesday?
We got class every day from
Tuesdays and Tuesday through Friday is 7 to 9.
7 to 9. Go ahead, Al.
Like it, sir, if I may, not only would you have been stoned, but you would have been stoned by people who ate pork. You would have been stoned by sinners.
Right. You would have been stoned because think about the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Pharisees and the Sadducees were like the Christian church today.
Right.
They telling you what you don't need to do, and they go home and do it.
Right.
They go home and doing everything that you shouldn't, what they say you shouldn't do. They say you shouldn't be homosexual, and they're homosexuals. They're undercover homosexuals. And no one knows it until it comes out in the tabloids, and now everybody finds out that he's been telling me not to be homosexual, but he's a homosexual. So that's why Christ told them when they tried to do that to that woman, they brought that woman that was committing adultery in front of them. And they said, what do you say about this woman that's committing adultery? He said, he without sin cast the first stone. What did they do? They walked out because they knew that they were committing the same sins.
Right.
They knew that they were wicked. So all they could do was leave. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 31:31.
That's the new covenant. That's the old. What you got?
In order, as far as like historic, like the Levitical priesthood, right?
Right.
They were to be perfect.
Right.
Right. In order to carry out judgment, you yourself had to be perfect.
Right.
You understand? You can't kill someone for eating pork and you just stole from your brother.
Right.
You understand? So when Christ said he that's without sin, you know what I'm saying, cast the first stone, you understand? That's why Christ had to die for us. Because if you sin, let's say like prime example, like you, what's your name? Gerard. You're coming into knowledge of the truth like today or whatever. And you realize all the messed up stuff that you did before you had knowledge of self.
Right.
You understand? And then you start telling like, man, I was smoking weed. That was wrong. And like the whole time while you saying that, it's a Levite up here. You smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, man? I was eating pork. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time, and then right when he's like, so you done, but man, I'm so happy that you came to the knowledge of self. You understand? I want to get what time are you free today? You know what I'm saying?
About an hour.
Yeah, you want to commence the sentencing?
Yeah, I would like to do it by firing squad. Sir.
Right, and we just take you outside and kill you. You had no chance to change. That's the purpose of Christ dying.
Right.
Well, if I may just give a precept on that. The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 18. For Christ hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in flesh, but quickened by the Spirit.
Perfect precept. Perfect precept. What scripture were we at?
We just finished with Lot in Genesis 19, 17 through 26.
What you got?
I wanted to bring out Hebrews 9 and 22, just like the brother was bringing out, like
Give me Joshua.
when the Levitical priesthood was out, like you would have to sacrifice like a turtle dove or like a sheep. That was just taken away from your money.
Yeah.
Like it was just to sacrifice something that had value to you. Understand what I'm saying? But get Hebrews 9 and 22.
No, you good? No sweat.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission.
So Christ shed his blood for us. Christ, the sacrifice of Christ, our King, under the lineage of King David, offered up Christ, the Son of God, right?
Agreed, yes.
To take away the sins of the whole Israel, not just a little dumbass a cow or a sheep with no blemish.
Right.
They took our King. So we would have to prove ourselves to get our King back so we can take the world back. That's just basically
Right.
I never heard
That's
of
good, brother.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Give it, brother. Hand. Let's go. Joshua 2 and 1. Start at 1. Come.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 1. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, "Go, view the land, even Jericho." And they went and came into the harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, "Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country."
Stop right there. First thing you want to pick up. How did they know some people from Israel was in their land? Let's say, for instance, some foreigners come in America right now. How would we know? We wouldn't know.
Right.
Because everybody's what? Everybody's mixed in.
Right.
So how is it that they could recognize some foreigners when they land? Everybody was in their own land. Everybody was separated. Everybody wasn't joined together. That's why the Lord gave us all our own lands. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 3. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, "Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country." And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, "There came men unto me, but I was not whence when they were."
You know what she's saying? She's like, some people came here, but I don't know which way they went. They left a few minutes ago. I don't know where they at. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark. And it came to pass about the time of the shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whether the men went and wote not, pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them, and the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords. And as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate.
Read verse 12.
Verse 12. Now, therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that ye shall save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sister and all that I have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered her, our life for yours. If ye utter not this our business, and it shall be, when the Lord hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by the cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, get you to the mountain, lest they pursue meet to, it's like lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days until the pursuers be returned.
All right, let me tell you this. This is what's going on. This sister is hiding them. So because she hid them, she's asking for a favor. Because she knew that they was coming to take the city. She's like, so when y'all come and take the city, free me out of here and my family. And they was like, we'll do that if you don't tell. That's what she was supposed to do. And hang this scarlet rope up by the window so we'll know that this is your house. Also, don't go in the streets. Stay in the house. This is a life or death decision she got to make.
Right.
You understand? Now, if she would have got caught doing this, that would have been treason.
Right.
She would have been killed by her people, by the people of the land that she was in. You understand? Another thing people got to understand is that when we were going through the lands, like, no, I'm not even going to that right now. Keep reading. Wait, where we at right now?
Verse 18.
I'm going to go into it when I get to it.
Yes, right there. We at verse 18.
Go ahead. Verse 18.
Come. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 18. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by, and thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be, it's like verse 19, and it shall be that whatsoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in thine house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him.
Right. So he's letting them know this is the oath that we gonna make with you. If somebody touch you, we gonna touch them. But you make sure y'all stay in the house and keep this scarlet rope hanging out, and we gonna come get you. Now go to chapter 6. All of these things that we're going over is simple things that are very important. You know what I'm saying? We look at simple things like just not smoking weed. But these simple things that you look at are very important. The body is the temple. You understand? And when you smoke, you are smoking in Christ. You got Jesus smoking weed with you every day.
Right.
You understand? So you look at it like, oh, it comes from the earth. You know, it's a herb from the earth. All grasses are good that come from the earth. You try to justify all the wickedness of this earth, but you don't follow what the Lord tells you to do. Read what you got.
6 and what, sir?
Let me get 6 and 2. 2 through 6.
2 through 6. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor, and ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus thou shalt do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark.
How many priests?
7 priests shall bear before the ark.
We didn't have enough, so we only use 6.
And 7 priests shall bear before the ark.
Orders are very specific when they are given. They tell you exactly how to do it. Keep reading.
And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the seventh day ye shall compass the city 7 times. And the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a loud blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the walls of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend upon every man straight before him. And Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord.
Now, these are the orders given, very specific. It's very cut and dry, straight to the point. It ain't hard to understand. Go around the city, do it the way the Lord told you to do it, and I'll give you the city. Now, if they would have walked around the city the 7th day and walked around it 8 times and then tried to shoot arrows from the back and tried to take it from the front and flank the side, and what would have happened? They would have died. And some people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, would have heard, so you mean to tell me we finna march around the city, blow some horns, and yell, and the wall gonna come down. That's what a black man today would say. Imagine we walking around America, and the Lord say, march around the city 7 times, and then blow the trumpet and yell, and I'm gonna give y'all the city. People that don't want to follow orders, that don't listen to no man, you know what they gonna say? Oh no, I don't believe that. That don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense at all. So you know what would have happened to us? We would have died. Because they didn't want to follow what the Lord told them to do. The instructions the Lord gave. Because they felt it was stupid. Your mind, you can't think how the Lord thinks. You can't imagine how the Lord is going to do something. Go ahead, man.
It's like, did all the people hear this order, or was the Lord talking to one person?
The Lord was talking to Joshua. And Joshua passed down the order to the nation. You understand? That's why you got to pay attention. When you a man in leadership, when you getting orders, you got to pay attention to the orders, because you can't tweak the orders.
Right.
You can't, see, that's Christianity. Christianity get the orders and try to make a twist to it. Okay, well, yeah, I know he said not to do this, but the people won't like that.
Right.
You know, so we gonna kind of make it to where the people could be comfortable, because, you know, everybody ain't, you know, you can't just say that around everybody. That's what Christians do. We got to do it the way it's supposed to be done. Read verse 20.
Verse 20. So the people shouted when the priest blew the trumpets. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, the wall fell down flat. Mm-hmm. So that the people went up into the city, every man straight before them, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua said unto the 2 men that had spied out the country, go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman and all that she had, as ye swear unto her. And the young men that were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her brethren and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred and left them without the camp of Israel.
Let me see that. Now you can't tell me, see, first of all, blacks, Hispanics, and what's that, Proverbs 29:2? The meek. Yeah, give me that. Somebody give me that scripture. You can't tell me blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not men of their word. Because if that would have been a white man, you know what he would have did? He would have killed her too. Right. The white man would have said, the white man made how many treaties with the Native Americans? Over how many? Over 500 treaties with the Native Americans. How many of them did he keep? Not one. Not one single treaty did he keep, because the white man is wicked and evil. You understand? He's not to be trusted. But the Bible, what the Bible says, somebody got that scripture for me?
Psalm 37 and 11.
The water. When you get it, read it.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 11. But the meek shall inherit the earth.
But the who?
But the meek shall inherit the earth.
Read.
And shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
See, the world gonna be at peace when you're in control.
Right.
Because you have compassion. Other nations don't have compassion. If that would have been the Romans, they would have took the city and the harlot. They would have took the harlot and slept with her and then killed her.
Right.
They would have took her family, they would have raped the men and the women and killed them all because they are wicked.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Lord put something in you. You are warriors that know when to stop.
Right.
You understand? And that's what the other people don't have. They don't have compassion. And one thing that we lack is discipline right now. We lack being in order. You know why we don't have discipline? Because when you go to church, they teach you to be lawless. How do they teach you? Let me see if you pay attention. How does the Christian church teach you to be lawless?
If I may, they tell you that the law is done away with. Christ loves you no matter what.
That's it. If you say the law is done away with in America and you're going to be free no matter what, then what's going to start happening in the streets? Purge. The purge. That's what's going to happen. So you mean to tell me I can kill somebody and I'm still going to be free? So what's happening in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community? We killing each other and ain't nobody doing nothing about it because the laws is done away with. And you ain't got nobody to speak up for you because the pastor is telling you that it's okay to kill. It's okay to steal because God's still going to love you regardless. No, the laws are not done away with. That is how you have a nation. That's how you govern a nation.
Right.
The same way America got the preamble to the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. Right. They got the what else? The Gettysburg Address. Right. They got all of these different things. Well, you got it too. It's right here in this Bible. You got your laws. You got your statutes and commandments. Then you go into your history. America got their history. They got the list of their presidents and how America rise and fall. Well, that's the same thing you got in your book. You got the list of your history. You got the genealogy of all the nations. You got how you rose and fell. You got all of that in the Bible because this is the Holy Bible. This book is only for you. This ain't got nothing to do with everybody else. But the problem is you so focused on following the white man's culture, you can't follow your own.
Right.
Because you don't know how to follow orders. You're disobedient because you are being taught to be disobedient. Because when you are obedient, you're going to rule the planet Earth under your king. So your enemy has to teach you everything backwards. They have to teach you everything just flip-flop in order to keep you at the bottom so that they can be at the top. You understand? Now, this heathen got freed and we had mercy on her. You understand? Now give me the next chapter, chapter 7. Now look what this man in Israel did. One man. People always talking about their personal relationship. Read this. 7 and 7.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 7, verse 7. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt on the other side of the Jordan.
So now let me tell you what's going on in this right here. We were told to go into the land and kill everything and touch nothing. That was the orders. Go into the land, kill everything. Women, children, sheep, goat, everybody, the old, the young, kill everything moving. Don't touch nothing. But somebody touched something. And the next time we went to war, we lost like 30 people. And when we go to war, we don't lose nobody. You know why? Because the Lord is with us. So now he's like, Are why would you bring us over here to be conquered by these people?
Right.
Like by the lesser men, the Amorites. Right. Keep reading.
Verse 8, O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? Right. For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall everyone verses round, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up, therefore liest thou thus upon thy face. Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed things, and have also stolen, and disassembled also, and they have put it even amongst their own stuff.
See that? They looking at it like it's not a big deal. Right. You know, I just saw some gold. It was laying on the floor. Everybody was dead. So I just picked it up and put it in my book satchel. You know what I'm saying? But no, the Lord is like, they sinned against me. They broke my law. They didn't follow my orders. They didn't follow my orders. So now I got to punish you. And any good father punishes his children. Right. We got the best father. Go drop down on verse 20.
Come, sir.
Verse 20. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel.
Hold up. So now this the brother, he's stepping forth. He's like, man, I can't take it no more, man. The guilt is eating me up. Right. They call for all the tribes. They start looking through everybody's stuff. Achan is like, man, I gotta go ahead and tell. It was me. Right. I did it, man. I sinned before the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 20. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils of the goodly Babylonish garment, and the 200 shekels of silver, and the wedge of gold of 50 shekels of weight, I counted them, I coveted them, and took them. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. Keep going. Verse 22. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran into the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. Verse 23. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor.
Now, who got brought out for what he did? His whole family. Even his livestock got brought out because of the punishment he made. He broke the order. But now his kids, his sheep and his goat, everybody got to get called out to the front. Sometimes you could break an order that only affect you. Like Lot's wife. She looked back. She was the only one that died. Then sometimes you could break an order that affects everybody and make your brothers and your sisters die because you want to do what you want to do. Right. So the Lord has to deal with you because one thing about when the Lord gives you, when the Lord gives out orders, the punishment that he's giving you is not because he wants to give it to you. It's because he said he would give it to you. Like, it's like telling your kids, if you don't clean your room, I'm going to whoop you with an extension cord. Now, you don't want to whoop your kids with an extension cord, but you get home and the room not clean, what you got to do? You got to carry out because the next time, they're not going to believe what you say. So you got to do what you said you was going to do. So that's what he did. Keep reading.
It's like it said. Verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us?
Why you troubled yourself?
Why hast thou troubled us?
But you had a personal relationship.
And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us?
Read.
The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him.
They did what?
All of Israel stoned him.
They prayed for him.
Stoned him.
They laid hands on him.
Stoned
They
him.
hit him with the anointed oil.
Stoned him.
Read.
With stones. And burned them with fire.
They did what?
Burned them with fire.
The fire of the Holy Spirit.
Burned them with fire.
Read.
After they had stoned them with stones.
You hear that? That happened to them. That happened to his family because of what the father did. So because of what one man did, the family had to pay like that. Right. Following orders is life or death. It could either be your life, or it could be your family's life, or it could be your brothers or sisters' life. It could be somebody's life if you don't follow orders. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, this is Genesis chapter 6, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I created from the face of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Everybody out. That's how it turned out.
The Lord killed everything. He started over. He's like, you know what? These niggas don't listen. Nobody listens. I'm gonna start over. Let's reset. Hit the reset button. We're gonna start over with 8. Because they were disobedient. They didn't follow orders. See, the first time the Lord did it, he destroyed everything and left 8 people. The second time, when he brought us out of Egypt, he let everybody come out. The righteous and the wicked. See how that turned out?
He killed all of them.
Then he killed all of them, and only 2 of them that left Egypt went into the promised land.
Right.
So now what's going to happen? This time when he brings us out, he's going to leave the wicked in hell with the people. When we leave this time, ain't going to be nobody saying, man, I sure miss America. Everybody that's leaving this time, we're going to all be like, Kwam Shalom. We're going to be like, the hell with that place. We're going to be like, we hated that place. Thank you. We don't never want to go back. You understand? That's what's happening now. Ain't going to be no looking. We're not going to be like Lot's wife. We ain't looking back at America when they leave. Oh, and it's falling. The economy is falling. The government is falling. Its justice system has never been up. It's always been laying down flat in the dust. Because the white man is the devil, and he's a fugitive and a vagabond, and his blessing was to be in the dust.
Right.
Because he is the serpent in the garden.
Right.
You understand? That scripture don't mean that that's why snakes don't got arms and legs.
Right.
You understand? Give me 1 Samuel chapter 15. Let's go to Saul.
You said 1 Samuel what, sir?
Chapter 15, verse 1. Saul, now this is a very good story to pay attention to right here, because Saul was the king of Israel. And you know how the Lord felt about us having a king. He didn't want us to have a king. He was like, I got it. Y'all don't need nobody but me. But we was like, but everybody else got a king. Why can't we be like everybody else? They got somebody that they talk to.
Right.
They got somebody they see.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all have a king.
Right.
Soon as we get a king, what happened? Read what you got. I got it.
Honorable Khan is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now, therefore, hearken thou unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He like, the Lord sent me to make you the king over us. So now listen. Now, where else do we see hearkening to the voice of the Lord thy God? Get that brother hand in Deuteronomy. What does that mean about? So what does hearken mean? Listen. That means this is something you listen to because it's important. This is a commandment. You understand? Read.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
You hear that? That lets you know that the Lord's memory is longer than 2 weeks ago.
Right.
The Lord say, I remember what Amalek did when y'all left out of Egypt. He's like, I ain't forgot about that. So, and this is way after that. This is after Joshua. This is after the judges. Now we got a king. I remember what they did. That's gangster.
Right.
I remember what they did back in way long time ago. What did he say?
Verse 3, now go and smite Amalek.
Go turn another cheek.
And smite Amalek.
Read.
And utterly destroy all that they have. And spare them not.
We said to do what?
And spare them not.
Keep reading.
But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
He said to kill the man, the woman, the infant, and the suckling. That means the babies you hold and the babies that's walking. Kill the infant and the ones on the breast. Oh no, they ain't gonna bring this out because the Lord, this is not showing his love.
Right.
The Lord is all.
He's a forgiving God.
He is all love. They don't say that. They don't say that he loves. They say God is all love. That's the only thing he can do. The Lord never get mad.
Right.
He killed everybody on the earth and leave 8 people, but he wasn't angry. Can't stand the Christian church. Give me verse 6.
Verse 6. And Saul said unto the Canaanites, the Kenites, go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them.
You hear that? These Kenites they didn't kill us when we went through their land. See, the Lord is getting back justice for people that did stuff to us. When we were just making it. Think about it. When we were going through the lands, you had the army in the front. So you got all the warriors in the front, and in the back you got the women and the children and the livestock. Well, the Amalekites, they came around the back and was killing some of our women and children. The Lord is like, I ain't forgot that. I remember that. Keep reading.
For ye shewed for ye shewed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
You hear that? The Kenites didn't want no problems.
No smoke.
They was like, oh, y'all finna come through here? Shalom. Let's get up out of here. That's what the Kenites said. Read what you got.
Verse 7. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Halal until thou comest to Shur. That is over against Egypt.
Right.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
You see what he did? He took Agag alive.
Right.
That's what he did. He took Agag alive, but he killed everybody else. Keep reading.
But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep.
The best of the what?
And the best of the sheep.
Read.
And of the oxen and of the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile, and refused that they destroy utterly. Verse 10. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, I repented me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me.
You hear that? He was like, man, see, I told y'all this is a bad idea. This is what I'm talking about. I wish I would have never made Saul the king.
Right.
You understand? Because he did what he wanted to do and not what the Lord wanted him to do. Go ahead.
I got a precept on that in Deuteronomy. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Thou shalt do what?
Make no covenant with them.
Thou shalt work for them.
No covenant with them.
Read.
Nor show mercy unto them.
Nor shall do what?
Nor show mercy.
But we gotta love everybody.
Nor show mercy unto them.
You hear that? The Lord don't want you showing these other nations mercy. Because when you show them mercy, you end up being their slaves.
Right.
Do you know who the Amalekites are today? The Jewish man.
Right.
They are walking around in our land with the Magun Dawadah on, saying that they are the Lord's chosen people. Now, you know why they still living? Because we show mercy unto them.
Right.
Because we didn't utterly destroy them. Because Saul wanted to spare them. Keep reading.
And have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning,
What verse you at? Let them know.
verse 12, Salakia. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place and is going about and passed on and gone down to Gilgal.
All right, now this is my favorite. This one it get funny to me, Salakia. But this is when Saul turned on his Christianity right here. Read verse 13.
Verse 13, and Samuel came to Saul and said, Saul, it's like it. And Saul said unto him, blessed be thou art the Lord.
Well, Samuel, like, Most High in Christ. What's going on, brother? You coming to see what I did? Man, we conquered them, man. We did our thing out there. Read.
I have performed the commandments of the Lord.
I did exactly what you told me to do. You see? Saul is looking at it from a Christian perspective. Right. Saul is looking at it from grace.
Right.
He did the best he could do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 14. Then Samuel said, what meaneth then?
He was like, what? Wait a minute. What do you mean you did the commandments of the Lord?
Right, right.
What? What meaneth this?
This bleating of the sheep in mine ears.
Why do I hear sheep up here?
Right.
I didn't hear sheep up here last time. Why is the sheep bleating up here? Read.
And the lowing of the oxen which I hear.
Read.
And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites.
Who did it?
They have brought them from the Amalekites.
You hear that? It ain't me. They did it. It wasn't me. The people did this, man.
I gave them orders.
You know what I'm saying? I told them what to do. You know, I told them to kill everybody. But the people was like, look, sir, we got some good sheep. All right. The Lord gonna get y'all.
Right.
That's how he look. The Lord gonna get y'all. Dummy, read.
For the people spared the best.
So who?
For the people spared the best of the sheep and the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God.
You think the Lord wants your sacrifice? That's what it's been about the whole time. Our people have always been cool with just giving a sacrifice. The law said, don't sleep with another man's wife. Well, you know, I got old Bessie over there I can kill. You know, sacrifice this bull, and I can just go ahead and sleep with her. I got a payment. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and see if he home. He ain't there. Go ahead and get my sacrifice together.
He out the war anyway.
You understand? He out there fighting. That's how we've always been. They thinking about the sacrifices to the Lord, but what did Samuel say?
For the people spared the best of the sheep and the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, say on. And Samuel said, when thou hadst little in thine own sight.
Hold on, just drop down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord and have gone the way which the Lord sent me.
Do you hear that? He still thinks he did what the Lord wanted him to do. He was like, what is you saying? I have obeyed the voice of the Lord. I did what the Lord wanted me to do. What are you talking about? Read.
And have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. Verse 21. But the people took the spoil, sheep and oxen.
Who took it?
But the people took the spoil, sheep and oxen. The chief of things which should have been utterly destroyed to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal.
Like they should have killed it, but they didn't because they was trying to please the Lord. This is all of us for the glory of God.
Right.
We was just doing it for the glory. I know we all fall short of his glory, but we was striving. We was pressing toward the mark of the high calling. That is Christianity. The Lord knew their heart. That's what they said. The Lord know my heart. He know what I'm trying to do. Keep reading. Now this when it get real right here.
Verse 22. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord?
Do you think the Lord give a damn about your sacrifices? Right. Do you think the Lord cares about your salakia? Right. Salakia, sir. I'm sorry. The Lord don't want no salakia. The Lord don't want no sacrifice. What does the Lord want?
Obedience. You want me to read it over again?
No, read it. Keep reading.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
Read that again.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
Read that one more time.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
The Lord said, I'd rather you be obedient than to you sacrifice to me. Right. I would rather you do what I tell you to do than you say, I'm sorry for doing what you told me not to do. That's what the Lord wants. The Lord said, perfect love casts away fear. Right. Perfect obedience casts out fear. The Lord said the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's right. How do you fear the Lord? By keeping his commandments. How do you keep his commandments? By obeying them. That's obeying what the Lord says. That's what we miss. Keep reading.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Verse 23. For rebellion is as sin of witchcraft.
You hear that? The Christian church and everybody that's of the tribes of Israel that do not follow the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord sees it as witchcraft. Right. And what else?
And stubbornness as slacking, and iniquity of idolatry. Because
stubborn as iniquity and idolatry. You understand? That's what he looks at it as. You just not missing the mark. Like Christians say, I just missed the mark. You ain't missed the mark. You are committing full-out witchcraft against the Lord. You are committing full-out idolatry. You are worshiping another God because whatever you are obedient to is your God. That's your God. Your God is what you obey. That's what you obeying. You obeying your God. That's idolatry. Keep reading.
Because thou hast because thou hast recited the word of the Lord, and he hath also rejected thee from being king. Verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandments of the Lord and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
Do you hear that? That is why a lot of people can't come in here.
Right.
A lot of people can't come in here because they more worried about what people will say.
Right.
They can't keep the commandments because they more worried about what the people gonna say.
Right.
Everybody is worried about what everybody else say, but nobody's worried about what the Lord gonna do to us. Right. And that's why the scriptures say people gonna be crying out, Lord, Lord. Haven't I prophesied in your name?
Right.
You're going to say, depart from me,
Right.
ye workers of iniquity.
Right.
Basically, you sinner.
Right.
I never knew you.
Right.
The people that got a relationship with the Lord, they follow his commandments.
That's right.
That's how you know somebody love you when they listen to you.
Right. I just real quick, I want to make a statement like you said, they missed the mark, but they also, you know, they missed the Mark, they missed the Matthew, they missed the Luke.
Right. Right. Real talk. They missed they missed half of the Bible.
Right.
Read what you got.
Verse 25. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord.
What is he saying in Christian terms? God, forgive me. I sinned. Just forgive me, Lord. The Lord, like, I don't want you asking for don't do it in the first place.
Right.
That's what I want. I want you to not do it in the first place. Where you at?
Verse
26. Read that.
Verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel.
Read verse 28. This is for all the people that read scriptures that talk about the neighbors being all the other nations. Anybody could be your neighbor. Put this in your neighbor. Put this in your stranger and your neighbor breakdown. Right. Read that. 28.
Verse 28. And Samuel said unto him, the Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath given it to a neighbor of thine, that is better than thou.
Who did the Lord give the kingdom to? He gave it to King David. Did he give it to a white man? Did he give it to a Chinese man? Who's the neighbor? The neighbor is your brother. That's who stayed around you. You didn't stay next to the white man. Go ahead.
Like if I may, Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
So the Most High gave it to Judah.
That's right.
All right.
Gave it to a neighbor.
His brother.
Yep.
Read verse 32.
Verse 32. Then said Samuel, bring you hither to me Agag.
Now you put these two scriptures right here, which the prophets were gangsters. You know how you got your Nehemiah with the 8:21? Yeah, I'm gonna lay hands on you. All right, well, this is another gangster prophet. This is Samuel right here. Read what you got.
Verse 32. Then said Samuel, bring you hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately.
Right. That's what he said. Right. He came real tender and soft, like a white man would do.
Right.
And what did he say?
Delicately. And Agag said, surely thy bitterness of death is past.
I mean, I know you're not about to kill me, sir. I'm surely you're not going to kill me.
Right.
You know, I thought bygones were bygones.
Right.
Well, what did Samuel say? Did he say, we're going to spare you? We're going to spare you and we're going to let you make it. Read what he say.
Verse 33, and Samuel said, as thy sword had made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag pieces before the Lord in Gilgal.
You hear what he said? I could just see him as he's doing it. He like, as thy mother has killed, no, as thy, what did he say? As thy sword has made women childrenless. You know what I'm saying? So shall your mother be childless. And he hewed him to pieces. What does hewed mean? He cut him to pieces. Agag got sliced and diced like a tomato. That's a prophet of the Lord. You want now compare Samuel to Bishop T.D. Jakes. Now tell me who T.D. Jakes is like he'll cut down. Now tell me who Cat McCoy look like he'll cut down.
Right.
You understand? You see the difference? You see how the difference in how the prophets look what you see in your mind and what a prophet really look like. You understand? A prophet don't look like Eddie Long.
Right.
A prophet look like General Mahagan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this big old swole man. That's the Bible right there. This Bible is about warriors, man. We ain't weak. We ain't cowards. Go ahead.
Lucky, sir. But I just find it very interesting, like as we're going over story by story, how whenever a nigga that he think that the Lord think gonna follow orders, don't follow orders, he send a real nigga behind him that's gonna hold it down.
Right.
You understand?
That's right.
And clean up the mess, sir.
That's exactly what he do. Don't ever think that your position can't be filled. Don't ever think that just because you here, if you don't do the job, it ain't gonna get done. As soon as Saul messed up, the Lord went and got something better than him. David, a man after the Lord's own heart. And David didn't forget nothing either. David was on his deathbed like, Solomon, I remember 30 years ago, those people that did go and kill them.
Right.
And he's after God's own heart.
I would just like to add, due to King Saul effing up the way that he did, that brought about Alexander the Great, who was from the bloodline of God.
Dang, he sure did. Yeah, Alexander the Great came from Agag. Amalek. The white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of, man. King Saul messed up so bad, it still affects us today. Not following an order thousands of years ago is affecting you in 2019. Yo, you not following one order can mess up from generations to generations down the line that can destroy your kids. To the 10th generation. You understand? Go ahead.
It's just like it say, and these curses shall be upon you for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Forever. Not following orders will be upon you forever. Forever. You understand? Let me go straight to Matthews, man. I was gonna go into Tobit.
Why not?
All right, let's go into Tobit. Let's go into Tobit. Yeah, let's go to Tobit. Let's go to chapter 6. Now let me explain the backstory on Tobit. This lady, this man was trying to marry his daughter off, and his daughter had demons on her. And I mean, she had a demon on her that didn't want no other man in her life. She slept with 7 other men, and all of them died. Because that demon didn't want to submit. That demon wanted full control. Give me Tobit. We're gonna read 1 through 7. We got chapter 6, 1 through 7. Go ahead.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 6, verse 7. And when the tumult of men that were about the council was ceased, Holland furious.
Is that it? Tobit 6?
Slack.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
My bad, I got
No
you.
sweat.
Got you.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 6, verse 1. And as they went on their journey, they came in the evening to the river Tigris, and they lodged there.
Now, somebody give me that scripture about angels unaware. Find that scripture, trying to find. Go ahead, read what you got.
Verse 2. And when the young man went down to wash himself, and fish leaped out of the river, and would have devoured him, the angel said unto him, Take the fish. And the young man laid hold of the fish, and drew it to land. To whom the angel said, Open the fish. And said, and take the heart, and the liver, and the gall, and put them up safely. So the young man did as the angel commanded him.
Now, do you see what's going on right here? The angel is telling him to take the guts out of a fish and the liver and put it in a bag and keep it safely. You like, put the guts up and hold it and carry it.
And we discard this.
Like, wait a minute, that's nasty. That's what you gonna say. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty. But he said, "Come, sir."
Right.
You understand? He ain't asked no questions at this time. Keep reading.
And when they had roasted the fish, they did eat it. Then they both went on their way till they drew near the I.S.U.P.K. Verse 6. Then the young man said to the angel, Brother Azarias, to what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish? Verse 7. And he said unto him, touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or an evil spirit trouble any, we must make a smoke therefore before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed. Verse 8. As for the gall, it is good to anoint a man that hath whiteness in his eyes, and he shall be healed. And
now, so this is the angel speaking to this brother, but this brother does not even know who he's talking to. He think this is just a man. He called him Brother Azarias. That's what he called him. Read what the scriptures say.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 2. Be not frightful to entertain strangers. For thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
This is what Tobit is doing. He is entertaining an angel unaware. He don't even know who he's walking and talking to. But this angel is giving him instructions that's going to save his life and his father's life, and make it to where this woman can get a husband. And he's finna get a real about being obedient. Give me chapter 7. Start at verse 10.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 10, verse 7. And blessed him, and said unto him, thou art the son of an honest and good man.
So this is when he's going to meet her parents. He's going to meet her parents, and the parents are saying, you are the son of a good and honest man. Keep reading.
But when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept. And likewise, Edna, his wife, and Sarah, his daughter, wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully.
Where you at? We at verse 10 and 11. You moved up. You went up to verse 8. We at chapter 7, verse 10 and 11.
You haven't started verse 7, so it's
You started at verse 10.
okay, no sweat.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. For it is meet that thou shouldest marry my daughter. Nevertheless, I will declare unto thee the truth. Verse 11.
Like, look, I want you to meet my daughter, but I gotta tell you something. I gotta keep it real with you. Read.
I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men who died that night. They came in unto her. Nevertheless, for the present be married. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till we agree and swear one to another.
Tobias was a real nigga.
That's the Ildana.
He said, look, my daughter done been with 7 other men and they all died. But nevertheless, it's a good thing that you're here. Come sit down and eat. He was like, I ain't eating nothing here until I come back. When I come back, then we can eat and be married. But right now, I gotta stay focused. Because my life depends on this. You understand? Go ahead.
So I like to add, sir, that's faith, because me in the world, man, I be like, look, if it's a chance that I ain't gonna back. I want to get something good to eat for my last meal. But he knew he was gonna come back.
Right.
So he like, hey, the meal gonna be even better because now he gonna be happy.
I've slayed the dragon.
Right, that I done slayed the dragons and the demons. And now he finna make
mother of dragons.
Damn these noodles that he got for me right now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm finna have lamb when I come
Damn right.
So
They go to chapter 8. Chapter 8, start at verse 2. Mm-hmm. We was in chapter 7, verse 10. Now we in chapter 8, verse 2. Go ahead.
It's the book of Tobit. It's like it. Tobit, chapter 8, verse 2. And as he went and remembered the words of Raphael and took the ashes of the perfume and put the heart, the liver of the fish thereupon, and made a smoke therewith. The which smell, when the evil spirit had smelled, he fled into the outmost parts of Egypt, and the angel bound him.
You hear that? When he did what we was told to do, the demon left out, and the angel grabbed the demon. You understand? And had the demon. Now, Tobias was able to go ahead and and consummate the marriage and live. Now, drop down to verse 9.
Verse 9. So they slept both that night, and Raguel arose and went and made a grave, saying, I fear lest he be dead.
He like, look, go check and see if he's still alive. I think he might be dead. Lord have mercy. Go ahead.
Verse 11. But when Raguel was come into the house, he said unto his wife, Edna, send some of the maids and let her see whether he is alive. If he be not, that he may bury him, and no man know it.
Let's hurry up. If she killed another one, let's go ahead and bury him in the spot.
That's a nigga name.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know she black.
Right, Edna.
Edna. You know, she granny. And he's like, let's go bury him in the spot before nobody knows. Keep reading.
Verse 13. So the maid opened the door and went in and found them both asleep, and came forth and told them that he was alive. Then Raguel praised the Lord and said, O God, thou art worthy to be praised with all pure and holy praise. Therefore, let thy saints praise thee with all creatures, and let thine angels and thine elect praise thee forever.
You know why he was able to live? Because he followed the orders. He listened to a man he didn't even know. He met this man on the road walking, and this man told him what to do that saved his life.
Like it, sir, if I may, also, this is a good precept on how marriage happens.
Right.
There was no priest back then saying, if you take this woman to be your lawful,
right.
They went to the bedroom and
got it on. That's what it was. That's what marriage is. Everybody that's out here having sex and just thinking that they're just sleeping with somebody. I know a female that I know. She posted something on Facebook talking about me and my man been together 10 years, even though we ain't married yet. And being in the truth, that just it don't even sound right no more.
Right.
It's like, what do you mean you've been together 10 years and y'all not married? So the only thing that's gonna make your marriage solid is when the white man say y'all are married.
Right.
When y'all get that papers, as they say you are married, what's gonna change in your relationship once you get that paper? Nothing. The only thing that makes your marriage is when he says you are married. And the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Man, come on, man.
I know what's gonna change her attitude. That's really like she got some kind of control over you.
Right.
She got you on them papers.
That's right.
Say that again, brother.
She got them papers in your life. Now she the woman.
Yeah, yeah, she the wrong man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to be a waiter in years past, and now when we speak about sex being marriage, I understand it even from just that time, because they would tell you to marry 2 bottles of ketchup together. And that's when you pour one inside the other and
Right.
give them a whole bottle, one bottle. And that was just on some simple, just some simple.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The twain, the 2 become one.
Call it marriage.
Good night. Put that in the arsenal. Most High in Christ. Let me get Matthew 11 and 2. Now let's talk about somebody that didn't follow orders when Christ was on earth.
Charlotte Posh.
That doesn't pertain only to you Negroes that can have a whole bunch of children each year.
Oh, I was telling you.
You gotta get a piece of paper.
Go ahead, give me what you got, Matthew 11 and 2.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 2. Now when John had heard in the prison the works of Christ, he sent 2 of his disciples.
John heard what?
When he heard in the prison.
In well?
In the prison.
Free.
In the prison.
The
works of Christ.
Right.
He sent 2 of his disciples.
No, he was a disciple of Christ.
He sent 2 of his disciples.
So you mean to tell me John was in the wilderness, teaching about the coming of Christ, seen Christ, and said, "This is he who I teach about, whose boots I ain't able to latch." He saw Christ and said, "You should be baptizing me. You want me to baptize you? You should be the one baptizing me." And then he get dipped in the water, come out the water, the sky open up, and the Most High say, "This is my son, hear ye him." Then the spirit ascend down like a dove. John is looking at this. He's bearing record to all of this that's going on. And you know what he do? He goes out and don't believe in Christ. He goes out and makes his own camp. He has his own disciples. That's what he did. So how many disciples of Christ was in jail while Christ was on earth? Not one. How many disciples died when Christ was on earth? Not one. Why? Because they were protected by Christ. The Lord had them safe because they were following the man that the Lord put in charge. See, people are like, "Oh, I ain't gotta follow nobody." You're gonna be like John the Baptist.
Right.
You ain't following nobody, that's cool. Now you are susceptible to die. Because you ain't got no head. You ain't got no leadership. You're a part of a body, and it's the body just straying wherever it want to go. It has no direction. You understand? Go ahead.
Hey, just real quick. And the people that say, "Well, I don't follow nobody," how many people say that? Okay, well, they following all the people that say that.
Right. That's right. All the people that don't follow nobody is following the people that don't follow nobody. Keep reading. Go ahead, Salam.
Living in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, that's what Cat McCall said. Keep reading.
Book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 3. And said unto him, "Art thou he that should come, or do we look for another?"
He saw everything play out in his face, and he still said, "Is he the one that's supposed to come, or should we see me looking for somebody else?" Right. John the Baptist saw Christ and said, "This is the one." Right. But then now he in jail, he's saying, "This ain't the one. Right. We need to be looking for somebody else." Keep reading.
Verse 4. Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Go and shoot John again those things which ye do hear and see."
Yeah, Christ is saying, go and tell him, go and tell your camp leader what you see out here in the free world. Right. Go let him know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Tell him what was going on.
Verse 5. The blind receive their sight,
Mm-hmm.
and the lame walk,
Mm-hmm.
and the lepers are cleansed,
Mm-hmm.
and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached unto them.
Right.
Verse 6, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me.
You hear that? People are offended when we say the things that we say.
Right.
But blessed is he that are not offended in that. Go ahead.
The answer appears to be an answer knowing John's background of the essence that was killed off in the first century. From the research, it seems like John was a part of the essence community, and he was answering them based on the Messiah that they were looking for in the essence community.
When John saw Christ, what did he say about Christ?
Oh, he's the one.
He's the one. So why now is he saying, should we be looking for somebody else?
No, I'm just saying it's unique that Christ answered him according to that community that John was a part of.
Right. He answered them according to the prophecies that was written before the time. Right. He cut them with the prophecy. He's like, everything that John was preaching about, you've seen it happen. So go tell them what you seen. Maybe that'll help John out. Go ahead.
And the crazy part about it is you see that in the world today. You see it's brothers that'll tell me, man, I believe everything y'all saying.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's the truth, but
Mm-hmm.
let me pray about it.
Right.
Let me go watch some more videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me Matthew 14:8. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do.
The book of Matthew.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Chapter 14, verse 8. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, give me here John Baptist's head in a charger.
Now, John the Baptist was a righteous man. He followed the law. It wasn't that he didn't follow the law. Matter of fact, let me give it to you. 11:11. Yeah, give me that 11:11.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there has not risen a greater than John the Baptist.
Do you see that? It wasn't that John the Baptist was a sinner. John the Baptist was not a sinner. John the Baptist was not someone who was out doing his own thing. I mean, living his best life. You know what I'm saying? The only thing John the Baptist didn't do was follow Christ. Follow the man that the Lord put in charge. He did what he wanted to do. Keep reading. Now go back to where we was at. Oh, keep reading. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 11. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he.
Do you hear that? The men that's going to be at the bottom of the kingdom of heaven, they're going to be greater than John the Baptist. You know why? Because John the Baptist he was the first one with the opportunity to be a disciple. He was the first one. He could have been the first disciple. He could have been Peter. You know what I'm saying? He could have been the solid one. But he didn't want to. He wanted to do his own thing. So because of that, he's going to be least in the kingdom. Right. Go ahead.
And I think he did that because he was so popular. That's right. He ain't want to give that up and follow somebody else.
That's normally what the problem always is. Giving up his authority and want to be the leader and not the follower. All these fake Israelites groups, they know what the truth is. But you know what? They don't want to be under you. They don't want to say come out of one come to you. Because they've been camp leaders. They got rank. They in charge. So they finna come up under you and say, "Con, sir? No, I'm good. I'll sink with the ship." Go ahead, huh? That's right. That's what people say. Commanding General YAHANNA has been saying all camps need to come together since forever. We could have been had the numbers we needed.
Right.
You understand? But the Lord don't want them.
Right.
The Lord don't want all the people. You understand? It's not time yet. The Lord wants people that's gonna do what He say do, and not what they want to do. If we had all them people in here, we would have all kinds of schisms in the body. That's what the Bible says. All the schisms come from the people. Give me 1 John 2:19. All the schisms will be coming from all the fake and the weak people that ain't strong. You here following orders. You here following what the Lord gave you and passed down to our people, and you're following it. They will be coming in here bringing all kinds of problems. Read what you got.
1 John chapter 2, verse 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
Do you hear that? If they would have been if they would have been with us, they would have never left us.
Right.
So the I.S.U.P.K was the home for where everybody come from.
Right.
And if the people that left would have been real, they would have what?
No doubt have continued with us.
They would have stayed. They would have never left, like Commanding General YAHANNA never left.
Right.
And you know this is a black man talking. You know what it said? Because they would have no doubt. You know that's a black man. They would have no doubt continued with us. Keep reading. But they keep reading.
But they went out that they might be made manifest.
That they might be made what?
Manifest.
That they might be made manifest that what?
That they were not all of us.
They left so that we can know that they were never in the truth. We would have never known who they were. We would have never known if they were real or fake. But when they left, they let us know that they fake. That's what we trying to get you to understand. You understand?
Right.
Now let me get back to where we was at.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verse 9. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. Verse 10. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison.
He did what?
He sent and beheaded John in the prison.
You know why John was beheaded in the prison? Because
he did not follow Christ.
Because he didn't follow the man in charge. He wasn't following orders. He didn't do what the Lord wanted him to do. So following orders is a life or death decision. It could make you or break you. It could free you or kill you or put you in bondage. Because who the Lord wants in charge, if you don't listen to him, you're going to end up outside the body and you're going to watch the body rule under Christ.
Right.
With Christ. You understand?
Precept on that would be John 12:26. If any man serve me, let him follow me. Right? And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor.
You hear that? If the man served the Most High, the Lord is going to honor you for standing up so stiffly with Christ. If you serve the Lord, he's going to reward you. That's why the things we go through, you're going to go through some hard times. You're going to go through, you know what I'm saying, losing a lot of stuff. Right. Man, like I said yesterday, everybody in here got a new car. You know why? Because all the old cars we had, they all got taken away. Right. Yeah, some kind of way, some kind of wreck. You know what I'm saying? Right. Some kind of wreck, repossession. Right. Something happened to what you had originally was taken from you. Right. But you know what? It was also given back to you. Right. They are better cars than we had originally. Right. We had smaller cars. Now everybody got big trucks and Tahoes and Suburbans and all that. Now everybody can haul camp equipment. Right. You understand? At first we couldn't even bring the flow signs. Right. Now we can bring all the signs. Right. We can rotate on camp. I'll take the camp equipment this week. Right. You understand? Because that's how the Lord do it. He tests you. He see if you worth it. And then he give you a little more because you show you deserve it. Christians don't deserve a goddamn thing but what they about to get.
Right.
Fire.
Right.
Because they living in heaven right now.
Right.
That's what they getting. This is their heaven with the white man.
Right.
So what you need to do, be obedient. Follow orders. Follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. When you in this school and the priest and a man above you give you an order, you follow it to the T. You don't partially follow it. You don't tweak it. You don't, all right, well, he said to put the signs up. I'm gonna put them in the school, but I'm not gonna put them in the room. They up, they in the school, but I ain't put them in the room in the order they're supposed to be put up. No. He said make the flyers. I'm gonna make the flyers, but I ain't gonna bring them to camp. Right. Like, you what? Oh, I did it. I did what you said to do. You understand? I did make the flyers, but I forgot them at home. No, you gotta follow the order to the T. Don't tweak it. Don't twist it up. Don't make it fit your feelings. Do it the right way. Now, if somebody give you an order and you don't like the order, it don't feel good, you don't like how the brother told you, what are you supposed to do?
Complete the order and then take the counsel.
That's right. That's to get that brother hand. You complete the order. You do what the brother tell you to do. You don't say, I ain't like how he did it, so I ain't doing it. Because that could be your life. That could be your brother's life. That could be your sister or your family's life, and that you just put in jeopardy because you didn't follow that order. Go ahead.
Like if I may, like that's a solid point, because hell, when Saul lost the Lord, when the Lord left Saul, he gave David the order to go get the foreskins of the Philistines. He went and did double on the dummy mission that he sent him on. And all he did was just complete it, even though he knew this nigga being wicked right now.
Right. That's exactly right. The brother breaking out is real heavy. That's a student right there. That's Brother Kenny. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have a name real soon. Listen to what he just said. He said he knew that Saul gave him an order that wasn't right. David was like, I want to marry your daughter. He was like, you want to marry my daughter? All right, go bring me back 100 foreskins of the Philistines. They was like, all right, 101 come. He came back with more than what David asked for. Now what you got to say? You ain't gonna never be able to say nothing bad about a man that follows orders.
Right.
But you can always see when a man ain't being righteous. And that's why we got righteous leadership in our nation to fix that. Right. Somebody get out of order with you, they handle you the wrong way, no sweat. Take it to council. Right. The Lord is in the council of the UPK.
That's right. Yep.
Go ahead,
Sir. Like right now, you know what I'm saying, it's a pivotal time, you know what I'm saying, in One West. You know, we're going through Hebrew Academy. You know what I'm saying? And in Hebrew Academy, you know what I'm saying, like we teach you, you know what I'm saying? In Hebrew Academy, we teach you understand, that following orders is life or death.
Right.
You understand? Being able, like the scripture says, there's no greater thing to be able to lay down your life for another brother.
Right.
You understand? But one thing that you have to understand, in order for you to lay down your life for another brother, we got to be like-minded in one spirit, in one body. You understand? So I'm saying that to say this. You understand? In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, like it's no cowards, no excuses. But the mantra that underlines all of that is brotherhood is a weapon.
That's right.
You understand? And true brotherhood is, if I'm tripping, my brother comes to me and rebukes me. You understand? If I'm acting carnally, my brother checks me and rebukes me, because treat thy neighbor or thy brother as thyself. Right. You understand? That's the only way in Israel that we grow as a nation. You understand? It's through true brotherhood. And what Adawan is bringing out right now is pivotal. Following orders will save your life, because following orders is true brotherhood.
That's right. Get that brother hand. Yeah. If y'all don't understand what he means, is following orders will save your life. You know why they save your life? You know why people don't follow orders? Because they don't trust their brothers.
Right.
Not trusting your brother is, you can't be in this business and not trust your brother. You can't be a man of war and not trust the man on the side of you. That's how you die. Being a warrior and not trusting the other warriors that you fighting with.
Right.
Go ahead.
The first example in the Bible following order was the orders Adam gave to Eve from the Most High.
Right.
And she didn't follow it.
Right.
And we all suffering from that.
Right. That's it. We all suffering because of orders that were not followed. That's why following orders is a life or death thing. With that, we're going to pass the class over to priest and officer Yeshaya.
Will the Israelite School of Universal Practical Will the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge start out 125th Street, Harlem, New York? Will for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. There is another, they are here to shape themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord give you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up holy convocations. Film. It's going to be February 18th through 19th. 14th day is Purim. 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, headband, pants, shirt, war scarf. These are the announcements.
With that, Abajim. Sorry, we're going to turn. Face the east. Say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Rakazayaka. Hayah. Asha. Barakazah. Hawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Lathananawa. Lakab. Call. Wayam. Wasalakanawa. Kabawakinawa. Kasalakanawa. Kabawakinawa. Wala'a. W-I-N-Now. Butter one. Above. Hayashayanawa. Mayan. Ran. Kawa. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha Allah. Waha Tapa Ara. La'a Walamyam. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us our debt. We forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to do the prayer of the curses. Trying to get the hell out of hell. Right. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai. Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Sin evils and curses.
Sin evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And death to the heathen.
That speak against thy prophets.
That speak against thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The prince. the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, and death to the heathen, and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into that sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, and death to the Edomites, and death to the Edomites, and the nation, and their drug dealers, the court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogue and army, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, national space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, and the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of our people that seek to stop us, and bring swift death to all the heathens that stand against us. That stand in our way, or try to stop us from broadcasting our word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists. Let loose all the terrorists. Cause them to go to and fro in the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to shake at the hand of thy coming. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucer and kill all the heathen that come up against us as we speak that word. Cause it to be known by all that it was the angels who had done it. Cause it to spread throughout the media, throughout the whole earth. Cause it to shake it that coming. By I.S.U.P.K, the water Ahmad. Sir, this means sir. Courtesy salute to the brothers. Imagine. Salakia. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yazmatan. Sir. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yazmatan. Dismiss. Damn right. Let's get the brotherhood class started.
I don't con, sir.